Hey guys, this is our update on Oakley, and today we're going to talk about her wounds and where we went from April 7th to today, which is Saturday. So we're going to actually show you her wound today, and then disclaimer, we're going to kind of show some of the wounds, some of the surgery stuff. It may be a little graphic for young kids maybe, or if you got a queasy stomach, so fair warning. But if not, I think you may find it interesting looking at the wounds from day one to now. So between between the day we got her off the range and today, she's actually went through two surgeries. She did one at our ranch, and then we brought her in to the vet and DPE for another surgery where she had two spots operated on, and she still had an issue because of the severity of the infection. And when we found her, like I said, as you guys can see on the pictures, you can actually see, the severity of the wound. You can see all of the different discharge and pus, and her body was definitely trying to fight it off and doing a good job, but she was struggling. And so as we were going through the healing process, we were really fighting. Keep in mind, we were doctoring 3 times a day, every 8 hours. So it wasn't like a normal feeding schedule. So our personnel actually had to get up in the middle of the night and actually go do another wound clean and all that. So you're talking another hour of work, because you had to not only clean it, it had to be rebandaged, had to be washed out. And so that process took place. Then sure as heck, the abscess took in because of the poison from the shot that went through, and the surgeon talked about it on the second surgery, working with the doctor there. So anyway, we want to give a shout out to Desert Pines, man. They did a great job. Dr. Ivy did the first surgery, and then Dr. Garcia did a great job on the second surgery, and actually went in, really took some time to clean out some of those channels that were stuck in there or burned in there from when the wound was first created. And so what happened, even though that wound's clean and all that, the infection part just sits in those channels, for lack of a better word. I'm not using the medical terminology, but it continues to not go anywhere. So those channels themselves actually need to be cleaned out, and it's because of the nature of how the wound was created with the high velocity shot from a gunshot. So it actually will sear when it goes in, but that infection stays in that channel, if you will, the inside of a barrel, and it just stays in there and continually just keeps feeding the wound. So we added additionally, and we're going to kind of show you something that I've used for years. Personally, I use it on myself. It's a colloidal silver that we have, and it's like Genie's magic. We're going to actually start carrying it at our store, but I used it for years, over 10 years ago. Personally, I used it. That's another story, but we've been using it on the animals and ourselves for years. We used it on hers as part of the cleaning process, in addition to the betadine and so forth. We just added it in. And so I think you'll think the wound was miraculously healed, as you'll see in the video. And I think you guys will really, really like looking at that and looking at the progress. Not only do we give full props to those heroes at Desert Pines, but also to our people keeping up and doing all the changes, which weren't easy. Again, she's the wild horse, right? She may not be so much now. She's been handled quite a bit, been in the trailer several times, but it did an amazing job as far as staying on top of that wound, and that colloidal silver helped a lot. Not only did we clean the wound with it, we orally gave it to her as well. So we'll start carrying that. I will do a longer video on the colloidal silver, because it's important where you get the colloidal silver. So we know it was well water, and we know it was pure silver rods in that well water, and there was nothing else added to it. So that's important, of where you get your colloidal silver as well, and who makes it for you. But the benefits are amazing from it. I typically didn't believe in that, but it worked on me and actually saved an amputation of my leg many years ago. But anyways, if you have any questions about the wounds and things like that, and what went on, what setbacks we had, please ask, and we'll try to answer as many of those as we can. But we just are really super excited and happy of how everything turned out in the end. And so we want to thank everybody involved, from the local and the state Bureau of Land Management, State of Nevada Department of Agriculture, and the brand inspector team there. And then, of course, Desert Pines and then all the staff at our ranch, Shiloh. So we want to thank everybody who was involved, and please ask us questions about that, and we'll continue to show videos of Oakley as she moves on and progresses even further. But take a look, comment below, and let us know what you think.